Okay, and welcome to another edition of Pink Biology with me, Annika. If you're celebrating, I hope you had a lovely Christmas. And today we're going to be looking at the periodic table and all its elements. And we're going to learn a few of them if we can. So here we go, let's have a look. So periodic table is made up of 118 elements, and each of these in turn cannot be purified or refined into the simpler ingredients. So each element is made up of atoms, and these are very tiny, but not the smallest thing in the world. And they're categorized by their weight and chemical properties. So each of these atoms consist of subatomic particles, which again are even smaller, and they're electrons, neutrons, and protons. And these are ordered in their atomic number and the number of protons within them. Okay, so now we're just going to look at the periodic table in a little bit more detail. So we've got elements that are labelled across the horizontal in rows. You've also got the elements which are represented in a vertical and in the column section, and they're all categorized into different labels. So we've got alkaline earth metals, transition metals, post-transition metals. We've also got some actinides, noble gases, and here you can see on a periodic table it's color coordinated, so they can be recognized easily and into what category they are. So basically, we're going to be looking at the basic structure of an atom. I would like to point out that I tried to find the most accurate periodic table to show you on the previous slide. There are different variations and questions as to whether some elements have been recognized or not, but I did a bit of research and tried to show the most accurate one. So here we go. So a basic structure of an atom is made up of protons in the center, which is known as the nucleus or core. It has also neutrons with it, and around the outside are the electron shells, which is here is represented as the white dashed lines. And then we've got electrons which sit on the electron shells. Now inside the electron shells there are even more shells that all named different things, different properties, but this is a very basic structure of an atom. And of course in real life they're actually 3D. So the neutrons have no electrical charge. The protons are positively charged, which is a plus sign, and the electrons are negatively charged, which is a minus sign. So when you have protons which are plus and electrons which are negative and the same amount, they actually cancel each other out. Let's carry on. So moving on, let's have a look at what the rows are actually referred to. They're actually called periods, and they represent the elements which contain the same number of electron shells in the atom. And the columns are actually called the groups, and they have the same number of electrons in the outermost shell. So here is a flat diagram of an atom, and here you can see it would be on period 3 of the periodic table because there are 3 electron shells, and it would be classed as group 2 because it has 2 electrons in its outer shell. Okay, so here we've got a representation of a single element. So here are just the bare necessities of information. So we've got the number 8 at the top, which is the atomic number, and this would be the 8th out of 118 elements. We've also got the chemical symbol, which won't always be the first letter of the element name because of its origin and how it was first made and written back in the olden days. We've got the atomic mass, which is represented as an A, and here it is 15.999, and sometimes on periodic tables that actually is just 16. So we've got oxygen, it's got 8 protons, 8 electrons, 8 neutrons. There you go. To give you an example of some common elements that you'll find on the periodic table, and a lot of them that you would use in science, university, school, general work in the industry of periodic tables, chemistry, biology. So here we've got a few. So we've got hydrogen, which is represented as an H, magnesium, which is an Mg. Then that's where it gets a little bit confusing. Potassium is represented as a K, so that's where it gets a little bit confusing. Lead is Pb, tin is Sn. We've got aluminium, which is Al, carbon, which is C, copper, which is Cu, and then we've got chlorine, which is actually Cl. So if you learn these, you'll do pretty well when you're doing calculations. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun just to give like a basic little test of identifying some of the elements using their chemical symbol. And I thought looking at the anatomy of the Earth, and I've looked at the mantle, the core, the inner core, the atmosphere, the sea, and I've just gone through labeled a few of the elements that you'll find in these different sections because they are quite repetitive. So if you could identify, there may be some potassium, iron, magnesium, oxygen, argon, and a few more. I don't know if you can recognize them, but have a go. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I just want to say that I am on LinkedIn. You can email me at pinkbiology20@gmail.com. You can also see me on Twitter at AzeAnnika, and also on Pinterest. I'm actually now being recognised by Bournemouth University, the BU Schools Liaison Service, for my videos, which have been passed on to secondary schools. And I actually really appreciate everyone who has been watching my videos and want to build it up a lot more and post so many more. I've got so many ideas floating around in my head. I just want to get the videos made. So if you could like and subscribe and press the little alarm bell to remind you when the videos are coming out, and if you could share them, that would be absolutely great. So until next time, bye.